Everybody, the hour being after 5 o'clock, I'd like to call the Tuesday, September 24th, School Building Committee meeting to order. I'd like to acknowledge that this is a Zoom meeting. Any members of the public with questions or comments can email Mary Mortali or the Middle School Project. Our next order of business is approval of previous meeting minutes. Do we have any questions or comments about the meeting minutes? Hearing none, I take a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion from Ms. Gallivan. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Dr. Kenny. Let me poll the committee. Mr. Friscia.
Yes.
Dr. Kenny.
Yes.
Ms. Gallivan.
Yes.
Dr. Goff.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Dr. Hahn.
Yes.
Ms. Ruggiero.
Yes.
And I vote yes, it is a vote. Our next order of business is the project status update. Kate, over to you.
I'll pass this along to the Fontaine team, either Joel or Griffin, to provide the construction update.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks, Kate. So this first photo here, basically standing out in the baseball fields, looking back at the school. In the front of the photo, that's basically where our site is. That's where the new teacher parking lot will be. So that's where our work is contained to at this point. The photo on the left here would be standing, looking at the main entrance. You get the canopy on the right. The dimensional lettering that you see on the above the windows there. So that's installed. You'll also notice, I don't know if we have any pictures of it, but the pole banners have been installed on the side of the building. So those look nice. And then the photo on the right is that main entrance sign similar to the one I believe at the high school. So there's just a couple electrical items that we're waiting on to finalize. And then that thing will be that the black part of that sign is actually like a display board. So you'll be able to put up messages and whatnot. And then this is the front parking lot where the majority of the work is happening. So we have the underground drainage going in. The site is being built up. Actually, by the end of next week, that will all be complete and we will get binder down on what will be the parking lot there and be able to turn that over towards the end of the month. So that's a good milestone. As far as look ahead, so final cleaning is complete. Punch list is ongoing, kind of winding down. Landscape and site finishes ongoing around the building. We had the landscaper out hydro seeded last week or the week prior. Minor paver items. Pretty much at this point, everything is within that phase 2, which is where our fence is and where the parking lot is going. So like I mentioned, working on the drainage and filling that, and then that'll be bindered end of next week. There'll be some seating kind of along the bank that goes down to the baseball field, and then the sod that will go out in the outfield of the JV field. And that's really towards the end of the month here, we'll be wrapped up with the parking lot area, and then we'll be working pretty much around the baseball field for, you know, we have the sod out in the outfield, and then along the first baseline, there's some seating, the those granite steps that we added there. And then, you know, towards the next month or two, we'll be working our way out the bus loop, that bus road that we have in there. That's going to go back to the walking path that it was. So we'll kind of work our way out and seed and put that back as the walking path. And that should be it. We might have to come back in the spring for some landscape punch list items, but that's the majority of the work that's left.
All right.
There was a question that came in from a committee member wanting to know what the update is on the remaining items that need to be addressed and the timeline for obtaining the final occupancy permit. So we opened the building with a temp occupancy permit. And it's my understanding until the punch list is complete, the building inspector will remain on a temporary occupancy permit for the building. And then will hand us the final after the punch list is complete. Joel, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just so the final occupancy permit will actually close out the building permit with the building department. So we wouldn't pursue a final occupancy permit until the rest of that site work is done. And by that point, we'll be done with the punch list, and it'll be a conversation with Jim Crowley in the building department. But I expect that we'll be in a position for a final occupancy permit when we wrap up that site work. We'll be able to close out the building permit in November. So that would be the plan right now.
Thanks, Joel.
Any questions on the construction update? Hearing none, I will move on. So the transition schedule, and everybody knows this all took place, but with the first day of school was a huge milestone, August 28th, 2024. The teachers came in 2 days prior. The kitchen moved in the week before. Teachers had the ability to come in and start unpacking the week before school opened. And the admin started working out of the building the beginning of August. So we are through the transition period and everybody's getting adapted to the new building. That being said, we had opened a Google Docs file with the school so teachers could note any punch list items or questions or additional technology items or furniture items on a one big spreadsheet. And that was open for 2 weeks and then we closed it. So now we're going through the spreadsheet and filtering out whether it's a punch list item that's already been documented through TAP A in the punch list process, if it's a question for the staff, or if it's a question for training, if it's an IT item, if it's a FF&E item, or something the custodians can handle. So we're working through the huge spreadsheet now, but there were a few items that rose to the top pretty quickly once the school opened. So these are 4 items that are really hot for the school to have and are needed kind of immediately to function in the school. We are going through the bigger document and we will be coming back with one final ask for FF&E with that, but these 4 items we wanted to pass through ahead of time. So we had a coffee maker, a catering coffee maker that was bought for the central kitchen, and nobody realized that all the accessories for it weren't included with the coffee maker itself. So these are the coffee maker accessories for the coffee maker we already own in the central kitchen. Spike kits, so these are Lego kits that are needed for the curriculum in the middle school. So there's now 3 technology rooms, and I guess 2 of the technology rooms are fit out with kits that came over from Bird and Johnson, but the 3rd room does not have any of these Lego kits. So it's pretty important for the teachers in the curriculum to get these new kits for the 3rd technology room. It's come up that the teachers are looking for a small table in the staff bathrooms to put their laptops and keys when they're using the bathroom. So that's something that came up pretty quickly. There's not really a surface in any of those staff bathrooms for people to put things. And there's an additional cafeteria table with stools that has been requested to max out seating at lunch. We're really at the max, but TAP A found a way to add another table in and keep the egress path. So we're looking for a not to exceed approval of $32,785 for these additional FF&E items tonight.
Any questions or comments? So I have a question, Kate. What do the staff bathroom tables look like? How many of them are there for $5,000? Seems to me it's just, you're just looking for a little surface, but.
Yeah, that's something we don't have a quote on yet. So this is a not to exceed approval, but it would be a small table with a drawer in it. So we're looking for something that would fit in the bathroom, whether it's a cabinet or a small table. But hopefully it won't be the $5,000. I just don't have actual numbers for that yet.
Okay.
So this is a not to exceed request.
Jen Gayosich just texted me. She's trying to join.
Oh.
So we'll wait on Jen.
Mark, can I ask a question while we're doing that?
Go right ahead, Nancy.
So The additional cafeteria table with stools. I'm concerned that you said that we've maxed out the cafeteria seating already because we're not at our max student capacity. Like we were building this, I believe, for 900 students, and we're not there. So, what's our plan if and when we hit the 900 student capacity?
So Matt, I don't remember the design occupancy for the cafeteria and how many seats there are in the design holding the egress pass, but I believe there's 3 lunch periods. So
Yes.
Yeah, I think we took the total occupancy for the school and divided it into 3 sessions. And my understanding right now is there's one age group that has more students than the other, and that's why we need one more table at this point.
But do we have a capacity? I don't think we have any classes of 300 yet. If we move forward all of our elementary students, we will. And I guess my question is just, does the cafeteria have the capacity for that? I was under the assumption that it did.
Nancy, I wonder if you don't necessarily have every seat at every table full all the time.
Yeah, I don't really want
Right.
to micromanage the cafeteria. I just want to be looking down the road for the fact that we have larger class sizes coming up than we currently have at the school right now.
There's slightly more space since that cafeteria kind of opens up into that lobby. So we could possibly get a couple more tables in there, but again, they start spilling out into that lobby space at that point. And again, everything that's kind of designed around was based around the space template from the MSBA, and we're kind of restricted to the numbers they give us for the space allocation in there.
No, I understand that. I was under the assumption that the capacity we were working with was somewhere like 911 or something like that.
905, Nancy, I think it was.
Okay. Yep. Good.
And any other questions, anybody? Or Nancy, do you have any follow-up questions?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So we need a vote on this, Kate, correct?
yeah, I'm looking for a not to exceed vote on the items listed here in the maximum amount of $32,785. So not to exceed the $32,785.
Thanks, Kate. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion from Dr. Kenny. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Gallivan. Let me poll the committee. Mr. Frisha,
Yes.
Dr. Kenny,
Yes.
Ms. Gallivan,
Yes.
Ms. Gayositz,
Yes.
Dr. Goff,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Dr. Hahn,
Yes.
Ms. Ruggiero,
Yes.
and I vote yes, it is a vote. Next, Kate, vendor invoice packages.
Yep, so this is the vendor invoice package for August. It has the Vertex invoice, TAP A invoice, Fontaine invoice, and then we had a bunch of technology and FF&E invoices along with the front sign. So in addition to the invoice package that was emailed out, we have received a Micronet invoice for an additional amount of $31,620 that was received, and they're looking for approval on. The consultant from TAP A did review this invoice and recommends approval. So just flipping through the invoices, the Vertex TAP A invoice, the Fontaine invoice, the August rec is for $2,375,138. And through August, they are 92% complete with their contract. There's the budget update that is included in the vendor invoice package for reference, along with the ProPay reimbursement submission with the MSBA and where we stand with reimbursements. So we're looking for approval for the August vendor invoice package, which includes this Micronet invoice for a total of $3,086,688.23.
Thanks, Kate. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I take a motion to approve the vendor invoice package as described by Kate.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion from Dr. Kenny. Do we have a second?
Second,
Second from Ms. Gallivan. Let me poll the committee. Mr. Frisha,
Yes.
Dr. Kenny,
Yes.
Ms. Gallivan,
yes.
Ms. Gaositz,
Yes.
Dr. Goff,
yes,
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Dr. Hahn,
Yes.
Ms. Ruggiero,
Yes.
and I vote yes, it is a vote. So next, Kate, any communication from the MSBA or other business?
Just the standard, we submitted a change order review, the review logs in September for the quarterly review. We are awaiting the next site visit date, and just a reminder, once the MSBA has reimbursed the district up to 95% of the estimated grant, the MSBA will place the remaining payments to the district on hold, and we're currently at 83.75%.
Thanks, Kate.
And then in terms of new business, open discussion, the ribbon cutting has been scheduled for October 30th at 4:30. We are working through invitations with the working group, and there'll be more information coming, but we want to make sure that you hold that date on your calendar.
Thanks, Kate. Does anybody else have any final questions or comments?
I just want to make sure that we're going to have a quorum for the October 1st meeting, since we've broken this September meeting into two pieces.
Yeah, we'll just have to make sure everybody's aware.
Yeah.
Is anybody present now not going to be able to make the October 1st meeting?
I won't be able to because it's the same night as Fisher's open house.
Okay. And I know Dino emailed me, said he wouldn't be there. But that's all. That's all so far, Kate.
Okay.
Just who knows? So,
All right. That's all I have.
all right. Do we have any final questions?
Yeah, Mark.
Yes, Nancy.
I'm glad to know that we have a date for the ribbon cutting. What about an open house for the community? Like, a lot of people are asking me about that. So is that same night? Are we running tours, or are we doing something separate for, town meeting members, people who have been longtime supporters? Just what are we doing about that part?
I think the plan is to hold tours the night of the ribbon cutting. So after the ceremony, there would be, I'm not sure if it'll be student council or student-led tours through the building, but we're still working through the program. So at my other jobs, that's when kind of the community comes through in an organized fashion in small groups going through and tours. I think that is the game plan as of now.
Okay, and you said October 30th at 6 p.m. or do we not have it?
October 30th at 4:30.
Oh, 4:30. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion from Ms. Gallivan. Do we have a second?
Second?
Second from Dr. Kenny. Let me poll the committee. Mr. Frisha,
Yes.
Dr. Kenny,
Yes.
Ms. Gallivan,
Yes.
Ms. Gaositz,
Yes.
Dr. Goff,
yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Hahn, Dr. Hahn,
Yes.
Ms. Ruggiero,
Yes.
and I vote yes, it is a vote. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.